Have you ever wanted to be successful in life? There are many different ideas for what success looks like. In this video, we'll look at 5 areas around success. A definition of success that is achievable, success in relationships, success in health, success in career, success in purpose. A definition of success that is achievable. A person will live a life of failure if they have a definition of success they could never achieve. For instance, if I had a goal of climbing to the top of Mount Everest, to then successfully fly to the ground only using my hands and arms, first of all, even if I were to get the climbing skills, the human body isn't designed to fly on its own. If that was my only criteria for success in life, then it would make for a failed life. Similarly, if a successful life is that I was able to wake up in the morning last Tuesday, whilst that would mean I had a successful life by that definition, it would probably feel a bit empty and pointless. When defining achievable success, you want something that can be achieved over a lifetime, with enough challenge to be interesting to you without it being too hard to be possible to achieve. As you think about how success is defined, you will realise that different areas of your life will have different application for success. A straightforward health goal could be to live a long life beyond 90 years old. Whilst our length of life is not entirely in our control, there are things we can do which complement that goal, like eating healthily versus going against it, like regularly doing dangerous sports. If we think about success in concentric circles, in the centre is our own definition of success for our own lives. Then the next circle, or circles, contain those in position of authority, those in friendships and relationships, and what they think. Finally, there are the views of everyone else. If success for you was doing well in an academic context, then the input of your teachers will factor into that definition of your success. Sometimes people who are not part of those inner circles, we can give too much weight to their opinions, even though sometimes they're not even people at all. Particularly in socials, there's lots of different bots. You cannot have good friendships without the friends seeing the friendship in as good a light as you do. So for defining your own success, there are 2 areas: your own definition and then how people you trust see that. Success in relationships. These could be romantic or friendships. There are many ways we can think about these things. Scientific methodology may not be as helpful as a more psychological and emotional perspective. For instance, a theory that you have a successful relationship because a friend brought you an orange on Tuesday every week for a year may not be the best type of metric for seeing success in relationships. However, when we consider psychological requirements, then we can start to build better pictures of what success in relationships looks like. Let's think about trust. Where there is trust in relationships, then you can tell the person many things about yourself. It also means they can tell you many things about them. This means you can both know more about each other. This is a good basis for building strong relationships. Something worth considering is how you build trust. Is there a consistency with the truth? Helping the other person when they need something. Trust can be built through action. It can be developed by avoiding gossip and keeping personal things of other people to yourself. And that goes for yourself, but it also goes for the others that you are friends with. And a principle we should all stick to when it comes to our friends. Another area to consider for success in relationships is longevity. If you are good at having long-lasting friendships or relationships, then that can be a form of success for many people. Do you have fun? There can be success through the difficult things, e.g., when there is conflict, do you find you can resolve it and move on? Success in health. Do you have any health goals at all? Or do you just not think about it? Sometimes people can have gym goals, weight goals. What about what you are able to do with your health? Wouldn't it be amazing to be walking and fit and healthy in your early 80s instead of bound to hospital beds? Imagine if you can have good energy levels, low stress, able to go for long walks or jogging without being out of breath really quickly. What would success in health look like for you? For me, success in health is actually trying to increase the amount of fruit I eat. As I am implementing this, I have noticed personal benefits in terms of a better mindset, a better recovery when worn out. Success in health is a launchpad for other areas of success. It is worth considering for this reason. Success in career. One of the most time-consuming aspects of a person's life is the career or job they have. Some people live to work, others work to live. Do you want a job with minimal fuss? Something which you can forget about when you leave work. Sometimes if a person can do a job well and leave the thoughts about the job at work, then they are working to live. So long as their work covers their non-work time, then even if it is more of a job than a career, then maybe not being bothered about that is fine, so long as you have the time out of work that you want and things covered with bills and things. There are some people who live to work. To them, having a career is what makes their life successful. For such a person, a challenging career where they have to work late nights often for a large income can be very rewarding, particularly if they do not have many other interests outside of a work environment. Some people want careers that work around family. For those, there will be a balance between early career progression, fertility windows, and finding the right person to start a family with. Sometimes people can start with a demanding career and then switch to something less demanding, ready to start a family, after being able to quickly amass good savings. Success in a career can look differently to different people. Think about what's important to you over the short, mid and long term. Think of short term within a year, mid 5 years and long 10 years. A career can be fulfilling in itself and be part of a wider successful life. Success in purpose. People love having meaning in their lives. A life of purpose is one that is fulfilling so long as it is purpose that you want, rather than a purpose set by someone else that you don't really want but feel obliged to complete. As we think about purpose, imagine a pie chart which represents all the areas of success in life. Within that pie chart, there is finding purpose, success in relationships, health, career, and anything else you want to add. Your time is the most precious resource. If you put into percentage terms each of those areas, how much the pie chart do they fill in terms of what you are aiming for? Then do another pie chart and put in the percentages for where you are currently at. How well do they match up? Are you allocating your time as you want to be for achieving the success that you have defined? When I stopped defining success as the best people at becoming a millionaire, health and fitness gurus, expertise in a particular area, I exited out of discouragement and perpetual failure. I then stepped into a reorientation towards success I was interested in and have benefited with improvements in the areas mentioned in this video. As you define success for your life in a meaningful way, then you find the motivation to achieve the success you want. Birds of a feather, we grow together.